the real-time creative strategy for launching ads that will pay my bills next month and allow me to pay for my girlfriend's business that loses 10K per month. So, what's the actual premise of this video? Is that you're just going to watch me write ads so I go about creating a strategy so that you can copy me and watch me real time. That if you were able to actually follow me in what I do right now, by the end of this video, you will have a strategy, an avatar, an offer, and ads ready to launch for your own business so you can predictably have leads that just pop up on your fucking calendar. Now, I'm going to go over the strategy, the target, the ads, the offer, and then the launch. So, how's this going to look? Is that basically I'm going to try something that I haven't done, as if I was launching ads for the first time, which means that I'm going to try a new market. And this is going to be really fun. So that I actually have to go through everything that someone else would have to go through if they've never launched ads or their ads aren't as profitable as they want to be. This is the process that I would take to get them back to being profitable. So, the strategy simple lead magnet to get quick validation for my offer. The target physical therapists. The ads will write, the offer will write, and physical therapists. So the offer is just going to be the boring yet effective ad strategy to sign clients. That's it. Again, just you gotta get things on paper right now, and then really we'll kind of figure out the fanciness of it later. Realistically, what I'm always gonna say is that if you keep it super boring, super simple, you're gonna get a lot more data back than if you try and overcomplicate everything and make it more creative. Yes, you need to be creative and say the simple things in a creative way, but if you can't do that and you try too hard without having the boring and simple way to do it first, you're gonna fuck everything up and overcomplicate it. So, I have a really good case study for a physical therapist, and I'm gonna use that to my advantage. Now, if you don't have case studies, always run a lead magnet. Lead magnets are the easiest way to get data. They still sign clients instead of having a high friction funnel like a VSL, a webinar that takes hours, days, weeks to iterate and actually get data back. And it's also very expensive to fill. Run a simple lead magnet. Easiest way to actually get to 10 to 30K a month. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take my research bot, Google Docs. This is my full market research guide that I like to use that has AI do everything. I can't edit this, I need to make a copy because this is my doc that I like to use. So if we just copy everything here, what the fuck just happened? What the shit? So for this, usually I would use Manus, but I don't have credits. And, well, mainly because I used all my credits. So we're going to use Perplexity because it's free. So create a new chat, paste the prompt. Now it's going to ask me all these questions. I'm going to answer all these questions. Now I use, what is it, Comet or GenSpark Speakly, so I can speak into all this and it's so much easier. The market we're researching is online physical therapists. The exact buyer is someone who has been a physical therapist, is taking their business online. They've done the content. They're familiar with Alex Ramosi. They're familiar with all the different ways of how to acquire clients. They're familiar with ads. They know ads are the best way to actually scale, and they've done at least 10K per month online, strictly through organic. Now, the situation that they're in is they're trying to take themselves out of the business more and have more repeatable systems, like running paid ads, something that's predictable, something that's concrete, consistent, something that doesn't rely on them to show up more hours being a marketer than actually being a coach or a physical therapist. So the outcome that they're trying to achieve is just more quality clients with an easier and simpler system that really doesn't feel like work at all. For what we're creating, we just want the general research. We'll use it to put into other things that's going to be undisclosed right now. Now, again, I highly advise, I don't believe that the question of what are we creating for the research really matters. I just kind of like to have everything. Now, I will do a test eventually to see what it does. I just never used it. I like having the option. Just don't like it. So then we run this. That's going to gather all the intelligent. All right, so here's the prompt. I don't know if they're high in competition, but let's see. I'm just kind of seeing main pains and problems. Yeah, cool. So I'll copy that. Now, say there. And also, you could just add it to the same chat. Run this prompt. Sometimes what I've seen is that if you just copy and paste this in, it's just gonna say, yes, that is the prompt that I told you. So sometimes you have to say, run this prompt, or you can just put it into a new chat. Now, again, for some reason, the results are different, but for this case, we're just gonna go in the same chat. Again, I do have a case study on this, so for me, it's gonna be a lot easier. So here's summary. Oh my god, this is not put. What the shit? Oh, I need 30 quotes for each section of your research output. This is what I like. I like having the bullet points. I can just take, okay, this is a quote, talk to this angle, and then everything's an angle. Reality. The consensus, the pain and slash frustrations, tired out, spend, want. I don't need you to create. Sometimes again, you're gonna have to do this and just make it give you more specific shit. What the fuck are we down? Fucking run the prompt. Like, I don't think I'm doing something wrong here. As you can. I'm just gonna have to do that. This pains? What the fuck is this? Oh, it's being gay. Alright, so if this does this, just fucking redo everything. So here, I'm just gonna go into a new chat, paste. I want this out of here. What the shit? I want that out. Oh, I want to edit that. Oh well. -6. What? Fuck it. We're using Manus. Paying for more credits. Oh baby. Hold on. Alright, we're back. I had to lower my so I didn't get billed in the next couple days here for like $300. Anyway, so we're gonna try this again. We're gonna try to do this in Manus. I like Manus better, just that's just me personally. It's gotten me a lot of good results from market research. So we're gonna try this shit again. Now, those is going to be the absolute rawest of footage, so you're going to see everything that I do. And when problems come up, we're going to face them together because not everyone's perfect. And if I was perfect, I'd be a quadbillionaire. But I'm not because I'm not perfect. All right, so we go back to the doc. Okay, see. This I'm going to edit because I need. This I don't want. See, this is good. No, I don't want this. Actually, we'll keep this. Fuck it. Where's the outcome? 30 quotes. Oh, big yawn. Feel so much better. All right, Manas. The market we're researching are online physical therapists, so people that specialize in back pain, joint pain, things like that, who were primarily in person, they have the expertise, but now they're online. The exact the exact buyer is a one man owner, really doesn't have a lot of overhead, small team, and they just want a simple, lean way to scale their online practice to 30, 50, 100K months, primarily with ads. So right now they're trying ads. They've hired a few agencies. They're posting content, trying to sign clients and trying to stand out. They've taken a few courses. They're looking on YouTube for ways to grow their business. And then they're just trying to generate ROAS and leads and clients predictably all the way to 50 to 100K months. Sometimes it's literally just that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Let the AI do most of the work. Jesus, we're at 18 minutes and all we have is market research. Perfect. Everything I need building the customer research prompt now. Cool. We are actually going to do a test. So now, while this is waiting, what we can do is we can go think about the offer, right? Offer. And how we're going to structure it. So maybe either we're going to write a script, we're going to do a Loom video, whatever it may be. It's probably the easiest thing is either turn into a YouTube video, like a mini VSL, or a Miro board Loom video. Whatever it is, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Miro board and just present everything that I had for that case study. Now, when I was doing this without case studies to get to my first 30K month, all I did was information dump, just become the expert and be like, hey, if you want me to do this, I'll do it for you. Or I'll help you do it at a more hand holding level, like a hybrid offer. So that was that offer there when I was doing this for my original strategy, which you can do. So we're gonna map it out. This Nate's story. Make sure I get all the information down. Ah, therapist. 3K a month to 25K a month. 73 days, the exact time frame. Tried before. Ad agencies. Relying. Mouth. Mouth. Just call him or DM him on Instagram. What didn't work? Agencies were posting generic offers and telling him to let Meta warm up and just burn cash. I'm just gonna keep writing this shit down. Those were if people travel, I'll just share. Nope, still copywriting. Oh, still running. Cool. Since revenue. Content. Literally didn't want to have to worry about and deal with the marketing stuff. Sorry, it was too complicated. That's what about it is. It's just Nate's story. Let's see what else we have here. Nope, still copywriting. Doc. Alright, the research is done. So now I actually do want to see the difference. Am I missing something? There's that one. I just want to see the pains and the problems. See this one. Off on this. That's fine though. So I'm not really enjoying these prompts. So I'm gonna go back to this. I might even change that document. So I'm gonna have this create me a new prompt, and I'll show you how I do that. I need you to help me create a prompt, a market research prompt for a bot or an agent that can go scrape real world voice of customer data, so quotes where these people would hang out. And what I need is I need it to ask me who my market is, what I'm selling, who the buyer is, who the avatar, what their situation is, so I can go find more people like that, exactly who I would want to target. Now, the goal here is to find 30 of their pains, 30 of their frustrations, those kinds of things. So their pains, frustrations, the problems that they're actively facing. Now, hopefully we can section those out to each different thing so that I can help solve those problems. It's going to make ad creation, content, everything a lot easier for me. I also need the desires. What do they want? What are their dream outcomes, the rewards that they really want with their business and their life? So how's this really going to affect them? I also want the consensus. So what is everyone else seeing or hearing? What do they research? What are they looking for when trying to get to their desire? What are they actively doing? What have they tried? What have they failed? And what is everyone else telling them that they have to do in order to actually get to their desired result? What's the market consensus? What is the thing that everyone's telling them to do, and how do they feel about it? Now, I want their experiences, their situations. I want to know everything about this customer to make head, and I'm in their authority. Now, this prompt that we're going to create first is a broad prompt, and then we'll dial it in based on answers that I give you to find all the outcomes and all the outputs that I'm asking for. Now, this should clean it up for me a little bit. I don't need you to read that skill. what I do like about what it gave me, there's so much information, what they're always hearing. That's what I did like, and I know that relates to Nate. I know that relates to a lot of people. There's just so much information. What do you actually do? And I always say, do what makes sense for you. Now, if you're really good at content, you can run the follower funnel. If you don't really care for content, you can run a VSL. If you don't have a lot of proof, you don't run a VSL, but you can run a lead mag. I always say lead mags are the best way to start and probably get yourself to your first like 10 case studies. Just because, oh, excuse me, just because you have to build trust in a saturated market, which honestly I think is more of a scare tactic than anything, but it is true. Is that people just want to make it, people just want to feel like something is for them. Wow, this is made specifically for me. And that's probably why you're watching this YouTube video. And if you're 33 minutes in, good for you. But all they want to feel is that something was made for them. Their exact situation. This is going to solve an exact problem that they have, whether I directly call out the problem or it's subconscious in the problem. Where write ads go through the entire creative strategy process. So you click on this video. You feel like this video would solve whatever situation you're in. That's how it is. I had to sneeze. I'm sorry. Get paused. Okay. What the shit? Got it. There we go. Not really shit. All right, so we have this one. Uh, I just like having 30 just things to pick from because the more that we have, the more chance that we have of something actually being like, ah, that's it. So if you only ask for 10, it's gonna just give you things that people are complaining about. And you really don't want their complaints necessarily because those are harder to, I would say, market to, if that makes sense. When people just fucking complain. I don't want to market to complainers. I want to market to people who are actively trying to solve their situation. People that complain really just want to complain. So that's just from my own experience. And I know when I've complained about shit, it really wasn't me actively fixing it, but it was trying to make myself feel better for not actively fixing it. Well, unless you get rid of their shame. Well, oh, what the fuck? I wanted to run the prompt. Shit. Whatever. Try again. So usually this would take about 10 minutes, but I am. Usually this would take about 10 minutes, but you want to make sure that you're actually getting something good in here. So I'd rather not, you know, rush this part. Everything else is going to take no time at all. Okay. Now, the market that I'm going towards is online physical therapists, or people that specialize in back pain, joint pain, and mobility, stuff like that. The offer is around ads, paid advertising, meta advertising, either coaching or done for you work. That's the broad offer. Now, the buyer is someone who's at 10K per month. They had an in person practice. They're now going online. They have the credentials. And all they really want is more predictable leads, right? That's all they want. They just want to grow their online business. So this person, they feel growth, that they identify with growing. Now, when they were in person, if they were in person or they just started online, whatever it is, they just want to grow. They want to hit that 50 to 100K month mark. They want to be a business owner. Where it feels like once they start running ads, they crack the code to predictable paid ads, and they have a strong ROAS. They feel like they feel themselves at a higher identity. Now, the current situation is right now they are actively looking to run ads. They want to run ads because they don't want to be stuck in the manual operations. They want something just predictable, something that feels like it's automatic. Instead of posting content all the time, showing up 8 times a day to post content, send cold DMs, follow up in DMs, or they want their ads to be more predictable and more profitable, where they're getting constant appointments, 3 to 5, and they don't feel like next month is going to be a gamble. And instead, they know next month is going to be either the best month or it's going to stay stagnant. But they can make decisions based on predictability and not just guesswork. They don't have to overthink all of their strategies every single week. Let's fucking see what this does. And then we can actually start writing. So the next part I do, once we get something here that's good, hoping this will be. And if it's not, then I might do this manually. Or I'm just overthinking shit, which is also another thing where I do overthink shit a lot. So this might take a bit if it's going to use my computer. So what we can do, offer Nate Story. So what they're actually getting here is just going to be a lead magnet because I always recommend going into new markets or new strategies with the lowest friction possible so you can get data back and you don't waste thousands of dollars on ads. Now, I always say there has to be a limit to your risk. If you can stomach a couple $1,000s in ads, maybe 500 to $1,000 a day, then you can test a VSL funnel without proof. But realistically, I would say lead magnet, low ticket VSL. That would be the route that I would take. Now, if you can get low ticket to work, good. So usually with a lead magnet, if you can get demand for a lead magnet, you can turn it to a low ticket. And if you take the low ticket, you can turn that into a VSL, which is an offer. You're just seeing the friction point of to where your offer stops. Now, a lot of people will do is they'll start off with a VSL because they'll hear, "Oh, VSL is the best way to go because it's gonna put leads right on their calendar. They're pre-sold." Yeah, and that's true. That is how it works. Except if you can't test it to the point where it needs to be tested and get data back to the pixel and get your messaging and get your angles and get your sales process and get your headlines and get your email sequences and do all those things, you can't do it at scale because one, if you're not signing or you're not getting qualified leads to your calendar, nothing else really fucking matters. The first step is always getting qualified leads to your calendar. With a VSL to make it work, you need a lot of extra steps. Now, you can make it work with, simple ad, simple landing page, simple thank you page, and get people to show up. That's what I did. It was simple. But that also took a year to actually get up and running. Now, for me, I'm not going to say that I cracked the code to VSLs. I know how they work. I've gotten results with VSL call funnels. I personally, I just really like lead magnets. I think the way the market's going, where saturation is huge and trust is low, lead magnets allow me to test shit faster, build trust quicker. And then when I have undeniable amounts of proof, like either Cole Gordon, Will Nelson, Alex Mosey, where you just have a giant proof stack behind you, spam the fuck out of it and run direct to application. But not all of us are there. So, yeah, everything works. Just do what makes sense for you. This is going to take a minute. lead magnet. I'm just gonna make it a case study. How Nate went from 0 to 25K a month with simple paid ads. Simple paid ads for his. It's gonna make the entire thing a case study. That's all it is. Like people want to be like, oh, that's me. If I just talk about Nate, people are gonna resonate with Nate instead of me saying, hey, your problem is this. They're saying, oh, Nate's problem is this, instead of talking at them, which is gonna be a lot easier. So for me, it's gonna be a lot easier. For you, if you can use your own situation, be like, oh, this is what I did. This is what I found. This is what I found working with other coaches. This is what I see other coaches do. I've noticed when after running well over 2,000 ads for myself, which is absolutely nuts. People don't like when you talk at them. I don't need to tell you what your problem is. I need you to figure out what your problem is. I need you to figure out that I am your solution. That's the goal of advertising. Jesus Christ, 45 minutes. We barely have shit done. Good. All right. So, there. Simple lead magnet. That's all it's going to be. So, what else do we need? The ads. I can start writing angles. Add one. This is the fun stuff. I'm just going to send this to a simple funnel on GHL. I'll write this in a Miro board. So I'll set that shit up. That should take like an hour. I should have all of Nate's stuff. Actually, I think I already have a Miro board set up. So that's going to be huge for me. But anyway, I'll show you how I would go about it. Let me add one. So I'm going to test the creative angle here. Now, if I can, this is where this is going to be my copywriting doc. Pain, villain, agitate, reason why they aren't successful, reason for past failure, solution / soft CTA, proof / amplifier, hard CTA. I promise I'm good at typing. All right, so this is the formula that I use for ads, the formula that I use with all my clients. This is the formula that I've also just absolutely ripped apart from all of the stupid successful ads that I've seen. Like I'm talking ads that have over $100,000 in spend on them alone for the online B2B space. So if it's going to work for B2B, it's going to work for B2C because this targets a more sophisticated audience. And an audience that is less sophisticated isn't used to this, I would say, this heavy ad strategy. This heavy ad structure where it really just invokes a lot of pain, creates a lot of vision, has a really good bridge. So this works really well for them. And that's how I'm able to get $3, $5, $8, $10 cost per lead for my B2C clients. Then I have it, but $8, $15 to $25 cost per lead for my B2B clients. Where the fuck? What just happened? But yeah, no one gives a shit about cost per lead. All I care about is cost per qualified call that shows. Which I think for my B2B clients, if I go about it, $200 to $300 cost per qualified call shown, which isn't terrible. Then close rate's going to be around $300 to $500, which means that you're signing a client for $300 to $500. Which is, if you're selling anything, high, take it over 2,500. Amazing. So I would say like the B2C clients, probably under 300 for calls per acquisition, especially if you're signing something for a little high ticket. Now, if it's low ticket, obviously it's going to be a lot easier. Like if you're signing something for $400 a month or whatever it is, we're going to want to get that around like an $80 cost per acquisition. And, excuse me, they're going to go off the LTV. Their strategy is done. Woohoo! Ah, this is so good. This is good. This is what I wanted. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Where's I do like to click the link sometimes, make sure that what I see is what I'm getting. Oh my god, they're blowing. See, this, I use this. Wow. Yeah. See, these are good pains. These are good. I'm gonna. This is huge. I love this. So now I wait. Fuck. Now I have to change my dock. Fuck. 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 This I need to put back into this document. Desires, dreams. Life. Give me like uh solve. That should be good. Again, my biggest fear here is just adding too much here. So I'll give you my outer thoughts. The goal here is to find. Let's see, got it. LOL. So what I'm gonna have it do, I'm just gonna say give me some pains around my direct offer. That one was kind of broad. I like it. I just want to see what it gives me here, and you can always do this. Now, once we have this, I'm either going to use the top one or I'm going to use what it gives me here just for the pains alone to just really see what it can give me. And if needed, I'll add a note to the document so that you guys can have it. All right. This isn't terrible. I can use this. So what we'll do. I'll go with the creative angle here. And sign up to be a marketer all day. But I did bridge. So then we're gonna go right into the solution and solve CTA, then we're gonna go into the gun. So obviously these two can be switched depending on where you see fit. Also, your solution could be the hook, where if you go direct offer. But I like this main structure just to kind of have it. So for here I go, that's the same my client info. And if you want to see exactly scale. Now this is just the situation, the CTA. I'm just blowing past it. It's not a hard CTA, it's a soft CTA. Just here's his funnel. His entire paid ads funnel on the next page. Give context to what it's about. Now we're gonna go to the enemy, agitate, reason they aren't successful. Now they constantly putting on referrals. He didn't want to beg his clients to send friends, and if they said no, it lose out on their revenue and be seen as needy, less as an actual therapist. Now we're gonna get to the solution. So we ran a simple and reliable client getting system that booked qualified leads onto his calendar so that he could. And now we go to the desired look. Back at the market research. Hell yeah. So that he could. So we go back to market research. Well, I'll just show you how this works. He could. Here's number 11. For committed long-term clients rather than transactional sessions. So that, and we can put that into a pane as well, so he could focus on his clients more, which allowed him to stay longer instead thinking about where to get his next client. So now this I can clean up. There's a lot of gaps here. There's a lot of it's going all over. I don't think this is gonna flow properly. So if I crack my back. So if I read this out loud, online physical therapist. You didn't sign up to be a marketer, but I did. And that's the same way that my client Nate felt. And if you want to see exactly how he scaled 25K a month in 73 days, then you could just go to the next page because I have it there. Now, Nate was consistently waiting on referrals, but he didn't want to beg his clients to send their friends, and if they said no, he'd lose out on new revenue and be seen as needy unless as an actual physical therapist. So we ran a simple and reliable client getting system that booked qualified leads onto his calendar so that he could focus on his clients more, which allowed him which caused them to stay longer and get better results. And what the fuck just happened? Oh, right now it's recording. Results. Inspiring, get them to stay longer and get them better results because he wasn't distracted about trying to figure out where his next client was coming from. Put the entire system together for you on the next page so you can see how it works. For yourself. I'm just gonna put this into a VSL. It's gonna be a value pack VSL, but it will be a VSL, and I will write that out later. But right now, we're just going over the strategy. So now there's one ad. There's one angle. I think this is a creative angle because what they were telling us is that from market research, from their pains and everything they were going through, is that they want to focus more on their clients. They don't want to be stuck in the operational. They work there to work on clients, but they're in the trap of being marketer. Now, luckily for myself, this is exactly what the fuck I signed up for. I love doing this shit. And that's what we're going to talk about. This is the entire angle, is that they didn't sign up to be a marketer. So this is the context. Everything about this hook is now amplified in this body. Now, if I try and take a different point, I don't even fucking know. Let's find a pain. Let's find a pain. Now, I say they're just exhaust from the entire online business space as a whole. So, quote, general fatigue from the noise and hustle culture of online coaching. That's what they're tired of. So, I probably will look at the quote concept, more than I will at the actual quote. Just because. Or talking about unmotivated people. That's more their workload. And then I have to switch it to actually attracting those people. Now, you could, but it's going to be harder. It's going to be uncongruent. So, this could be lost personal identity due to daily grind. This, I could say, do everything this is called because they actually can't figure out where they're getting clients. That's where most of it is, and they don't have the good systems to do whatever. Now, I also did put together something here just to kind of see what it would give me. Now, also, Dave, yes, excuse you. Yes, right. Let's just see what we have here, right? Let's see what they're posting about. Post on social media, bought me a house. Let's see this.
I hate to break it to you, but every single day you've been in the clinic, you've been a salesperson, even though you thought you were a physical therapist. Whatever you want to do, memberships, courses, digital products, you have been training for this moment. And
yeah. So let's talk about sales. online. Yeah, so it's happening. Making sure that's actually like I should have done that first. Make sure it's actually like a good market to enter. Like, what's not a lot of crazy amount of comp there. Not about it. What else? What else do they want? Pains, frustrations, and experiences. That's just now. What could happen is you're gonna see me get into is the over analysis of thinking that there's some magic hack that I can say that's gonna tell me everything that they're going through, when in reality, most of it I already know, which is just they're not getting enough leads, or it's just putting it into more quotes that directly relate to them to be like, oh, I understand your situation. Every one of these is just a direct situation. Where if we go up here, and this is more just me telling myself this. So I went from 2 patients to 4 patients an hour, where they're just that's systematize. I can't help that with ads. I can't help that. Actually, I have no clue how that happens. I don't know. Probably if they were online, I could spin this to online. Energy burned out as an introverted person. I would change my career if I could do it all over again. One-on-one in person, driving desire for online love. Yeah. Yeah. Visible business owner. Like, yeah, all these things we can. This situation. See that after. So we'll go add to. Add to. This one we'll just go direct to offer. Right? Because the only thing in this ad is I want them to watch the video and then book with me. I'm not selling my service here. I'm just selling the next step to get them to the page. And the page is going to sell them watching the video. The video is going to sell them on booking a call with me. And the booking a call is going to sell them on paying me. And paying me is going to sell them on solving their problem. That's all it is. It's just each thing has to be a step. But this ad can get them all the way to the sales call if it makes it feel like, I just want to solve this problem. Fuck it, I don't care. I trust this guy. He talks directly to my situation. He understands. If he did it for this guy, he can do it for someone else. Like, that's what we're going for here. That can happen. It's not the goal. If it does, great. Not goal. Then your cost is going to be really high. So now, if I use my copywriting doc, let's see, direct offer. My client named scaled his business to 25K a month with this simple client getting system. And I even laid it all out for you to copy on the next page. Oh, what Nate didn't do was he didn't. Now we're gonna create an enemy, and what he didn't do is run a system. Alright, so we're gonna hit a pain right here. Let's go find a pain to hit. All right, let's go choose one. You watch me do it. Okay. All right, there's more here. Content creation. Burn out. Boom. Hit that pain. Now, eventually, what you'll find one core message that kind of just relates to everything. You're just gonna hammer the fuck out of that in different ways. That's it. We'll do like the funnel overwhelm. You guys run a system that required to build an 18-step funnel, post 4 times per day to build an audience to retarget. He didn't sit on sales calls all day begging people to show up. simple. It's pretty simple. That attracted people he liked to work with. That allowed them to see him differently than anyone else. Actually, conversation instead of hard sell. I got super simple. Now, if you want to see how the system works, just go to the next where I have it for free. 3. This is my client Nate. So this ad, I'm literally just gonna tell the process just value, just straight to it, and all it is this. It's simple and that the opposite what everyone else is doing. So his ads and offers stood out to cold traffic, and we sent them to a simple landing page that communicated the offer, a reason to show up to the call, and all he had to do was have a conversation with them instead of using hard sales tactics that feel pushy. Instead, could establish a relationship that got people to stay longer. That if you go to the next page, have it all drawn out. Like that's a super simple ad. Ad 4. So let's go back to the market research. Ooh, everything is correct. It was incredible. So this, I don't think it's just gonna work. Maybe it will. I just don't know how to angle around it, so I'm not. I don't want to force it and absolutely taint the message. So I'm trying to create, trying to break out of a lazy funk, being a skilled business owner. So this one I could do. The pains they feel. So this is a consensus break. This is more of a consensus than a pain. They feel like they're lazy. They're not lazy. So this can make a whole fucking ad about this. I'll tell you how this one's gonna go. I'm self-employed, solo. Nate was solo. Local solo practice. Nate was local and solo, but I'm just gonna say he was online. It's gonna be the same fucking system. But anyway, just something you could do. So Nate had no online presence. 70 IG followers. Trying to break out of my lazy funk. Okay, sorry. The hook is going to be, what is it? Skill kind of. The pain is going to be that they don't have any real systems to get them clients, and they feel like they're lazy, and it's unpredictable. That's going to be the real pain out of this. So we can probably put 2 and 2. We can probably put together. So bad quality leads. Or we can use this one. We can use 7 and 1. All right. I got the main reason is unpredictable. Now, how specific can we get? Or most people feel like they're lowering the prices. Or let's just see what else we can have. So self-employed. Actually, we can probably just stay here. So let's just map this out. Now, if I get stuck like this for another minute, I'm just gonna start writing because once you start thinking too much, you're fucked. So the pain here is that they're in the lazy funk. The frustration being a skill but invisible. So they're invisible. They're not signing clients. They're not attracting people to them. Clearly, they don't have a way to do it. So this can be an entire thing. Add 4. So stuck. To attract clients or that they need to fill their hours in a day to sign clients. But my client name who went from 0 to 25K a month in 70 days got out of this trap with my solution. A boring but effective getting system that didn't put the focus on marketing to make it work. If you want to see the entire process we did, it's on the next page bar. So now we go into the old way. Those PTs. Make content. Make content. Follow up. Then nurture everyone. Fuck. Most times. Feeling like they're lazy for not doing more work or more volume. Oh man. There is no way that clients, which made me laugh, because all we did was a system that was repeatable, so he knew. So his revenue never dipped unless he took a unless he wanted to take on less clients. And the system to see the entire playbook. Go to the next page. 5. it's literally just about big crack. Feeling like they're lazy. Just an identity call out, identity ad. Right? Let's go here. Says float away. Trying to outwork the problem. It's a good one. Not signing clients instead of literally they just said instead of panicking because you're not signing enough clients and dropping your, you know. Just see what happens. This might be a little better, make it more generic to your offer. Like if you were a fitness coach or you're, whatever it is, make sure that what you're getting is going to be pretty relatable to your offer, or else they're just gonna say some bullshit. Like something I just can't say. Like, oh, I went from taking on more clients and more hours. Like, yeah, I could. Yeah, that's more of a systems thing. It's more internal, but it also could be just follow ups. It could be check ins. It could be trying to sign clients, and that's where the issue happens. So, hang on to that, Jesus. So we're at 5. Shouldn't be the fact that they're panicking. Well, actually, that's gonna resonate with someone else. I don't want them to panic. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. This is good. That's good enough, honestly. Fuck with that. Just to be able to compete and sign airlines. That one we did. effective client getting system, which I do have laid out on the next page for you to see how system work. Ah, oh well. Yeah, somewhere because what we did was we the idea of how do we get him to stand out. Prices. Just not anyone. We only want people to stay long term, which better results, more referrals. See the exact system for free allowed put ACQ acquisition on autopilot while he focused other things like hobbies and clients. Then grab There's only 5 that I'm gonna be. I think that's pretty good. Just kind of see what the actual demand is now. Probably put $50 a day behind these ads. Something like just test congruency, test where the market's at. So now we're gonna build out the actual video. It's gonna be fun. Where's my Miro board? Got it. No, this is not it. All right. Now, yeah, I do have something already here. So go to my YouTube. What needs to work? What kind of ads work? Can't do this anyway. Up here. Go back to here, sites. this we might. So we have all these things here. No, I'm gonna just move everything here because I'm gonna put boxes. Actually, I can probably just like take it over here. Chips. So so we're just gonna go here. Alright. And then I will build this out. I'll come back when I'm done with this. Alright, so I just built everything out. I wasn't gonna have you watch me build everything out, but I am gonna explain everything. So I'm gonna go over Nate's story, everything that we did, how it works. So literally just going over all the fucking proof that I have. Hit that right off the bat. Going into his ICP, how we researched it, how we created the ads, offer this simple system, and then explaining why this simple system works. Basically handling any single objection that we have, and also showing this as the new way. Now, this is literally the only thing that's going to happen. And I'm just going to make a video going over exactly this, explaining his story, how we did it, off of 2K in ad spend to 25K per month, actually, and 2K of ad spend, which is disgusting. So, this cold traffic, this explains it. Maybe make a YouTube video out of this again. But this is going to be a direct VSL, so I'm going to structure this in a VSL, going over their past failures, their pains, give them hope that there's an easier, simpler solution based on their pains that my ideal audience is experiencing, because my pains that my ideal client, that my version of a qualified prospect is having, is not going to be the same as the general market. So I'm going to speak directly to who I want to work with. I want more people like Nate. Nate paid in full, paid on time, and loved me. And that's all I want. So if I'm going to find more people like him, then I'm going to continuously talk about his situation. And every time that he gets more results, I'm going to continue to feed that into the funnel. So as we're still working together, I'm going to feed that more into the funnel to revamp or just explain why. That's it. So that is literally the entire system of how I go about creating offers, ads, the strategy behind it. That is it. A lot of people overcomplicate it. I didn't talk about posting content to this. This is paid ads. Now, content is going to be the only thing that is left here, right? Content, sales, whatever. We just want to get qualified people in the door. Now, my content is just going to show that I'm the expert, that I know what I'm talking about, that these newer ways or these easier ways to run ads, get results from ads, and I'm going to simplify it and dumb it down, not dumb it down, but going to make it so easy to understand that they feel like, oh, this guy just really gets it. It makes it so easy to understand. That's all they want. That's all anyone wants. If someone got you to your results a lot easier, made it more easier to understand, you would probably work with them too. You'd follow them, at least see what they have, and then it's the job of the content to convert them later. So if they don't convert off of this, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So this is all this is going to do. Now, again, if you want me to run your ads or you want to see how it actually looks to have me do this for you or help you more closely with your ads, there's going to be a link in the description to this video. It's a one-on-one call. We're just going to go over your offer, your ad strategy, your market, to give you an entire, I guess, overview of what it actually looks like for your ad strategy. Because again, not every ad strategy is going to be the same. Now, if it's going to be lead magnets, the premise is going to be the same, but how you structure it, how you position it, how you differentiate yourself, how you make sure that you actually attract qualified leads to a free offer is everything that we're going to go over, so that when you actually do go to run this, whether you decide to work with me after the call or not, you're at least going to have a game plan to go launch this by yourself and actually get results that you come back to me and say that I'm the greatest thing to ever happen since sliced bread, which is all anyone ever wants. So, again, that's going to be an option for you, but realistically, you can just copy this entire system and do it for yourself. So, the choice is yours.